I really wanted to get out here and make this video. So you'll see, this is the area where we're doing the Back to Eden method for our garden, and I'll post a link here to the video we made about that. And Mark at I Am Organic in the comments, made some comments, and we exchanged, had a little dialogue there. And then he reached out, or I guess has taken a little bit of interest in what we're doing and following through on it and wanting to very generously offer advice to help us out from his own experience. So he sent a message recently and said, hey, have you considered planting sugar snaps in your garden area with the Back to Eden method? And well, my question was kind of, well, one was why? I mean, I get the idea with sugar snaps and their legumes and nitrogen and stuff. But my big question, I reached out to him, was, well, how do I do that? And this is, if you look, this is about 18 or 20 inches of wood chips. And I know you can't just stick seeds in that. That's not going to really work. And so I reached out to him, contacted him, we talked, and I said, well, maybe dumb question, but how would I plant the sugar snaps in here? I mean, do I just set it in there and is that going to work, or do I have to pull all of this back out down to the ground? And that seemed to defeat the purpose because we still have the same soil that doesn't really have much in the way of, it's not very alive. Anyways, Mark, great answer, which I don't know why, didn't even think about it. He said, well, you still have your tractor, right? Which obviously we do. And he said, just get in there, take the bucket down and pull the mulch, the wood chips apart down to the soil and create kind of a V with it, and then put compost or soil or whatever you have. So we have a big pile of compost over here that we've been making and building. So we're gonna, and he said, make a raised bed inside the wood chips. So, I mean, it's really awesome because when we make the raised beds that we've been using for our perennials, those are about $200 a pop in terms of lumber, which is pretty expensive and not what we wanted to do necessarily for our annual garden. So this is brilliant. We'll put in a bunch of rows inside here with the soil, and then the roots, as I understand it from Mark, the roots will start to spread out from that soil into the mulch. It's going to help to break it down. You'll already have mulch there that once things start to grow, to kind of push back over the top of it, and that will help to speed along this process. Anyways, brilliant. Mark is, if you're doing the Back to Eden method, obviously, if you've seen Paul's videos on it, and I linked to that before about this whole idea behind the Back to Eden garden method, doesn't really explain why it works, just says it does and kind of talks about it very basically. But what Mark has done at I Am Organic is really start to look into the science, and man, he explains it. I told Mark it's like watching his videos, something like going to a college course at an agriculture program, agriculture college in soil science. It's incredible, but dumbed down for people like me to understand, and it's really brilliant. So if you're interested in this, I would go to his channel, go to Mark's channel and watch these videos. It's really accessible information, very, very helpful. So I'm gonna jump on the tractor and just dig it out a little bit and start to do this. We'll show you what we're talking about actually practically, and then I'm going to tack on a few things at the end of the video that we did yesterday with our raised beds, with the blueberries that we had to do, some things we had to do there, and then also finishing up the work we did on the thornless blackberries. All right, let's get on the tractor and do this. Honestly, such a simple idea, and if you have access to wood chips, free wood chips, to do a Back to Eden method, and you want to have produce but don't want to wait the several years it's going to take for these to break down, this is perfect. Man, Mark, I'm so glad you reached out to me and established some communication. So thankful, because this is perfect. I mean, we can put in a bunch of these rows. There's already going to be the mulch to pull back over the bed once things take off and start growing, and man, it's just perfect. So thank you. This is, I'm really, if you can't tell, I'm really excited about this, because we were wondering, like, you know, it just stinks. It's spring, you're looking at seed catalogs, you want to order stuff, you want to put things in the ground, and you don't have any, we just don't have anywhere to put anything that we've tried for years in the soil that we have to plant things, and nothing went. But this will be amazing. I'm pretty sure of it. And long term, it's obviously going to continue to just get better and better over time. So anyways, all right, now to the other stuff that we did this weekend. Well, how did Operation Save the Blueberries go?
I think it went well. There's still buds.
So we had several nights of freezing weather, and after we've had, what, 2 or 3 weeks of 70 and 80 degree days, we had 2 nights of 25, 26 degrees and 30 degrees. So we came out, as we said we'd done, and moved these frames over to here, and then put plastic on it and made effectively a hoop house. And you can see the condensation. I think you can see the condensation on here. So we're gonna roll up, Isaac's just rolling up the plastic, and we're just gonna staple it up for the time being and leave this out here just in case we get another cold snap, so that it's already here and we only have to roll down the sides and staple it back down. We're gonna save our blueberries this year. Last year we weren't prepared for this, and we lost almost our whole blueberry crop because it got warm like this and then froze, hard freeze, and we lost most of the buds, most of the blueberries. So not this year. But today's project, we are cutting down these frames, getting ready to cut these down and move this fence up that we've got these blackberries, thornless blackberries, run through, and then we'll add another one up here across the top. So you can see the blackberries are already leafing out as well. So we need to get on this quickly before they start sending out runners, and we can train them up through this fence. Okay, we're at the last little, Sam, we're at the last section of trying to pull this last little bit to make up the difference so we can connect it. So we got to lift up. What we're having to do is kind of cut out sections from where this used to be lower, and carefully lift this up so we don't hurt the blackberries, so that we can pull it tight. So we're going to finish this up, and then we got to run another row of fence across the top. Good job, Mary Frances. So that's it. We've got the fence at the top and at the bottom, and now we're just trying to go through here, right, and get these pushed back through. But you can see, so here's this cane already is going up all the way to the upper fence, and what we will try to do is feed them up and back down, so that we have most of the blackberries will be in this middle section where we can pick them, and down below in this raised bed. So hopefully be just a wall of thornless blackberries by the time we're done. That's it. Our bees yesterday, so we had 2 days of really cold weather. Down into the 20s at night. It had been warm for about 3 weeks, 70s and 80s, and then it dropped into the 20s at night, 50s during the day. So I think the bees had really ramped up in their in brood production and things like that, where it had been out very active, and then all of a sudden they had to stay back in the hive for 2 full days. So yesterday, when the temperature warmed up, man, it was like an explosion of bees coming out of the hives. And honestly, I didn't know what was going on. 2 of the hives were doing it, 1 wasn't. But you had bees just everywhere, thick in the air and all over the front of it. You see in the video. I had to look it up. They're called cleansing flights. I continue to learn new things with the bees, but when they get cooped up like that, bees don't defecate in the hive. They keep it. That's one of the ways they keep it clean and sanitary when they're raising brood. So kind of like the nursery in a hospital, very clean, but also where they're storing their honey. So it's how they control disease in the hives, is they don't waste inside the hive. So they basically had to hold it for 2 days with their metabolism cranking up with the warm weather. So I had to laugh imagining it was like a bunch of bees waiting at the door to go to the bathroom. And so when it warmed up past about 50 degrees yesterday, there was just an explosion of bees coming out of the hive, flying around. And thick, even landed on one of them landed on my wife's jacket and pooped on her jacket, and Isaac had one land on his hand and pooped on his hand. So that's what they were doing, was cleansing flights. So you learn something all the time out here. That's it from here at St. Isidore's Farm. Just a quick update of something we got going on, and really excited about the raised beds, that we might actually get some vegetables and produce off the farm this summer. So we'll keep updating and see how that goes. Thanks again, Mark, and until the next video, take care and God bless. It is haircut night. We had to get this kid under control. Look at all that hair. Sam, man, you grow hair like unbelievable. You put fertilizer in that stuff?
No.
No.
It just grows fast.
It does grow fast. All right, how's it looking so far?
Good.
Am I doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna give me a tip when it's over?
Well, I don't know.
Nah, all right. We'll see how it goes. What do you think, kid?
No.
Thank you.
It looks very nice.
You think it looks nice?
Mm-hmm.
Best you could afford on your college allowance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I gonna get a tip this time?
Yeah, maybe $1.
$1? Are you serious? That'd be awesome. That's all right. Looks good, Sam. I love you, buddy.
Love you too.
All right.
Thank you for giving me a haircut.
Oh man, you're welcome. I'm glad I could do it. All right. Good job. All right. Hit the shower, man.